Hold my hand so close between yours. Oh, this time I always thought it would be your hand holding mine. Holding mine. Oh, holding mine. Oh, holding mine. Holding mine. Always thought it would be your hand holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Always thought it would be your hand holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Holding mine. Always thought it would be your hand holding mine.
From walking home and talking loads, to seeing shows in evening clothes with you. But now we're slipping near the edge, holding something we don't need. All this delusion in our heads is gonna bring us to our knees. So come on, let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? Everything that's broken.
You know me, now and then I'm a mess, please don't hold that against me. I'm a girl with a temper and heat, I know I can be crazy, but I'm not just a fuck up, I'm the fuck up you need. I don't hear nobody when you focus on me. Perfectly imperfect, yeah, I hope that you see. Tell me you see, 'cause I know that you've been thinking about it. Don't leave, shut your mind off and let your heart breathe. You don't need to be worried, I may not ever get my shit together, but ain't nobody gonna love you better. so difficult. But I'm not just a fuck around the fuck up you love. We ain't like nobody else, tell me so what? Perfectly imperfect, yeah, baby, that's us. Baby, that's us. 'Cause I know that you've been thinking about it. Don't leave, shut your mind off and let your heart breathe. You don't need to be worried. I may not ever get my shit together, but ain't nobody gonna love you better. Don't go, what we have here is irreplaceable. No, I won't trade this for nothing. I may not ever get my shit together, but ain't nobody gonna love you better. Sitting in the living room, you look at me, I stare at you. See the doubt, but see the love I have, and it is all for you. Let me wrap myself around you, baby. Let me tell you, you are everything you are. Losing my words, I don't know where to start, but baby, don't leave me. Shut your mind off and let your heart hear me. I won't trade this for nothing. I may not ever get my shit together, but ain't nobody gonna love you better. Don't leave, shut your mind off and let your heart breathe. You don't need to be worried. I may not ever get my shit together, but ain't nobody gonna love you better. Don't go, what we have here is irreplaceable. No, I won't trade this for nothing. I may not ever get my shit together.
I keep being like, why am I live again? I don't know. And then I'm like, okay, it's because Sam and I said we were gonna
Love
play.
you better than me.
It's because we said we were gonna play Resident Evil, but she is deep in the water park addiction. I know. I was sitting around like
Raid, Quinquan, raid, Quinquan, raid, Quinquan, raid.
I was on the phone all afternoon, and I kept being like, I have something. What do I have? 'Cause I already streamed today, and then I was like, oh shit. I said I was gonna finish Resident Evil 5. Maybe the horror games video. Yeah, I think we'll probably watch some more of that. I gotta be so for real. I don't have anything. She's watching magic videos. Okay, let me possibly. I just went live. Wait, she just started? I love whenever we're on the phone, can I just say? It's so funny. Because she'll be like, okay, I'm going live at this time. I'll probably talk for 30 minutes. And then I'll do this. She's like, I'll play Water Park for this amount of time. And then I'll be ready. I'm like, uh-huh. Is that what happens on the live streaming platform? Where, take it from me, you can have things scheduled out. And none of that can even happen. Weatherboxer, thank you for the 10 months positive. 2F, thank you for the 25 months. Thank you all for tuning in this morning when we played GeoGuessr. That was fun. Also, Will was still streaming too. And I went live. And then he comes in here, he's like, wait, you just went live? I said, yeah. He goes, well, I just ended. I said, you're streaming for like 100 hours. I didn't know when you were gonna end. Were you hoping to hang out for like a minute? We need to get you a list of must-play horror games throughout history. Yeah, I need that before we head into October. So funny going from GeoGuessr to Shinobi with Will right back here. Oh my god. It's like, where are we? What day is it? What's going on? Oh god, I'm also like my brain has hit max capacity for the week. Max capacity. I'm like, man, I don't even feel like talking about shit. I started to read that crazy ass article in The Cut. If you go, which one? Touche. The one about Elizabeth Gilbert, or the one Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love, apparently is like a sociopath, that she wrote, and I went, fuck, I'm not even in the right. I need to read this when I'm in a better place. When I've got like more to give. Honestly, the history of horror games does have some good recs for October. Okay.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi, JDs. Thank you for the 5 months. I read that. It's wild. I mean, look, you can always count on Cut to publish the most deranged, self-aggrandizing pieces. I don't know how they keep getting these white ladies to write the craziest shit for the Cut, because the discourse and the inevitable discourse is always like, wow, this lady's crazy. Wow. And yet they just keep on going. JD, same with 5 months. Did I already say that? I don't know. Okay, well, I'm just waiting to oh my gosh. Oh, okay, it's also our friends are having a housewarming, and I thought it was today, like when we were still I don't know. I can't keep track of anything. But it's later tonight, and I'm like, okay, but I really want to finish Resident Evil 5 as well. Because they're like, oh, we're going to be going all night. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be going all night, that's for sure. Well, so the reason I want to finish Resident Evil 5 is because I have dinner and a movie tomorrow. Probably wouldn't game afterwards because Cobblemon starts Monday, and I think Abe wants us all to be there, like, together at the start, and so I think it's going to be off of my normal stream time. Let me see. Where is the Cobblemon? Okay, I don't know. I can't find it. I can't, what? Oh, anyway, so I think for the launch for day one of Cobblemon, we're I know it's Labor Day. Can you believe it? Can you freaking believe it? We could talk about Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, I did talk about Sydney Sweeney for a second before I ended stream number 1. Stream number 1 from earlier today. I will say what I said again. It does feel like she is speed running her goodwill into the ground. She kind of seems to maybe just not give a fuck, you know? And now everything she does, it just feels like it's on brand. Like, I don't think anything should be a surprise. I think whatever Sydney Sweeney does, you're like, yeah, no, that tracks. That makes sense. What'd she do now? Oh, you know, just dating Scooter Braun. that piece of shit. That piece of shit. It's also funny because it's like, okay, I know he's been married, but if she had dated Scooter Braun, not now, there would not be as much like, okay, girl. Scooter Braun is, you know, he's still powerful, he's still extremely wealthy, but his reputation has gone. Yeah, apparently it was at the Bezos wedding. They were seen leaving somewhere together at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. Her attempt at making real movies and doing real acting premieres at TIFF in like 2 weeks. Here's what I will say, okay? Just a reminder to anyone who's like grifting to the right, or not even grifting to the right, just being perceived as kind of a piece of shit. The weirdos online who do all the culture war shit, the you know, we're taking down wokeism, they don't go to these types of movies. Okay? They'll probably go see, I don't know, Avengers. You know what I mean? Yeah, leaning into right-wing tendencies. Do you think that these people are going to go see Americana? Nobody's seeing Americana. She's becoming like her character Cassie. Well, maybe she's just actually doing method acting. Hold on a second. Okay. They buy out tickets in mass and then try to give them away. Wait, what? Sorry, I was texting back. I forgot. I forgot what we were talking about for a second. Have you watched Eddington? Yes, I actually did. I did a pretty lengthy conversation on Eddington from maybe a week ago. VOD a week ago. I think I have in the title Eddington review. Yeah, the CTE never went away. It's dormant. It's dormant until it's not. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Wait. Will, are you still here? Hello? Timmy? 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 Bro, I know he's probably getting in some little gaming after he was just like, oh, I can't do anymore. I'm sure. Negi Hama, thank you for the 11 months. Prime for a primetime streamer. God, I'm just really trying to figure out this timing here. Because I would really love to just play Resident Evil right now. But I have to respect that Sam is obsessed with Water Park Sim. So it'd be great if we could play sooner rather than later. What up, Speed? How are ya? We got work to do. Get in here. We got work to do. I ain't doing any more work. I am done doing work. Any truth to the Trump golfing video being old? Okay, so I definitely have seen MAGA people share pictures of Trump that are old photos. Like, there is truth to that. I don't know about the golfing video. Speed Raja, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. There's still been no interaction with Trump in the media. Okay, famously though, a guy who hates working, a guy who is not fond of actually governing and, you know, doing all that stuff, and also doesn't like to work on the weekends. Now, I'm not trying to burst bubbles. I just like to keep us. I like to keep it real. Okay, I like to keep it real. So as far as like, is the golfing video fake? I don't know. I haven't seen enough about it. I know there are other photos. There are old photos of him that MAGA's trying to post as a way to be like, he's not dead. See, he looks healthier than ever. It's like, okay, no, he definitely doesn't look healthier than ever, but I don't think anyone actually thinks he's dead.
Listen.
So you're good.
It's happening. Don't distract me if it isn't true. What's wrong with a little distraction? Don't do this. He hasn't been seen in a few days. He has nothing scheduled this week. When does he ever work? Be serious. Remember that weird bruise on his hand? That's not enough evidence.
Oh. Hello? Hi, Caroline. What's up? Did you leave? Oh, okay. Are you going? Okay, all right. I was just asking. Okay, bye. Wait, what?
If you're alive, show yourself. This will spiral out of control. Would that be so bad? Then say it. I can just say it. Doesn't make it real. It happened. You said it. Doesn't mean... Wait, did it actually happen? You can just say things? I have created a mass delusion and millions are participating simply because they really, really want to. The world is alive with possibility. He's alive. What do you have to say for yourself? It's probably a clone.
You know, I will say it was a good dress rehearsal, okay? And maybe he'll just die having... If he sees how many people were so excited, we're celebrating just the not even convincing thought that he was dead. You know? I think that should be enough to kill him. That should be enough to kill him. Not in like, I think it will, in that it should. Per the laws of nature, it should. It should kill him. Can you imagine being so despised for very good reasons that just the kind of joking of your death is met with that reception? It's not even that you've died. It's just people so wishfully thinking. I love how everyone too, wait, this is so funny. I kind of feel like we have reached this point that we haven't in the past, where a lot of people are just like, fucking die already. You'll see the someone's got to do it. You'll see the is he dead yet? Like those kinds of tweets where I think there's always been this sentiment of, God damn it, I wish Donald Trump would just die, but not in kind of the collective posting publicly about wanting this man to die, hoping that he's dead. No, it's not a meme. Thanks for reaching out. If that is on Discord, it wasn't me. I have a lot of people. I get messages just about every day of people being like, hey, I think somebody's impersonating you on Discord. I just need to put out a tweet. I need to make a PSA, be like, yes, I know. There are people impersonating me on Discord. Just know that if I don't know you, it's not me. And even if I know you, it's probably not me either, because I'm notoriously very bad at Discord. But just please understand. In general, it is not me. So stupid. There's a Russian joke about checking the front page of the paper for an obituary. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I have one little thing I wanted to talk about. What the hell? Why not? All right. Book talk, I swear, book talk has cooked people's brains. Okay? Book talk, one of the worst talks. One of the worst talks is book talk. So, Jennette McCurdy, who is a former child actor, she also wrote a memoir called I'm Glad My Mother Died. I'm Glad My Mom Died. I read it. It was very excellent. It was also hard to read. I don't mean like literally hard to read. I mean the abuse that Jennette McCurdy faced and that she detailed so well in this book was tough. So she has announced a debut novel called Half His Age. It is releasing in January. And all we have here in this pop-based tweet is the book follows a 17-year-old girl named Waldo who navigates an affair with her married teacher. Do you think this information that you've gotten here, and then knowing Jennette McCurdy and Jennette McCurdy's work, do you think that this is a cute little romantic story of her romanticizing something like this? No. No. But book talk and just, I don't know, the internet and just life has cooked people's brains. So first of all, they think a depiction of something is the author's it correlates with the author's feeling condoning towards it. It's very strange. It's like I just saw a lot of responses to this that were like, that's not cute, girl. That's not cute. That sounds like it's a problematic relationship. That sounds like maybe some abuse. Girl, I just have to say, I don't think I would be calling. I don't think I'd be calling that oh my God. I know, that's the point. Jeanette McCurdy, who wrote a memoir detailing her abusive childhood and the abuse she continued to face as she got older in Hollywood. Do you think Jeanette McCurdy is turning around and writing a novel that's like giving Lolita? No. My fave comment I saw was people saying she wrote a book already, so why is it being called her debut novel? I am telling you, book talk. Book talk is where I need to find like a quick, okay. The worst. It's I can't really explain it. I just have to show you.
Why the is this book? First of all, the writing is so tiny. Second of all, why are the pages so filled with so many words? Like, what the Why the everything I read is a flashback. I don't give a about your previous life.
I need you guys to know, like, the stuff you see come out of book talk, it's not satire. It's not people who are playing characters. It's not. I need you to understand, book talk is a very alarming corner of TikTok. If you are not aware of what is occurring at any given moment on book talk, well, I'm not going to tell you to dive in, but you may want to dive in. It's fucked.
I just want you to get your high score, and I just want to read action. I don't care what you did as a child.
I just feel like you guys at this point are like, why do I follow her? Like, literally, what actual reading does she do? Like, she's not a trustworthy source at all, and you would be correct. Does anyone else skim read their books? And by skim read, I mean only read dialogue. Like, you don't read description. Because personally...
Okay, let me see if this video Book talk is
Forgive
terrifying.
me, Father, for I have sinned. Recently, I have been reading books that contain impure acts, and I have been feeling things while reading these indecent words. What kind of impure acts are involved in these books? Oh, actually, I have the book on me. Here, let me... Put your hands on the headboard. Why? Because, princess, you need leverage when you ride my face. Well, lust is a very serious sin. I know, Father, and I'm so sorry. It's just that I love the part when he takes his and then he face and then he puts her and then he whips out his and then she rides his until he finishes. Just say 10 Hail Marys and make sure you fast one meal for the next week. Yes, Father. Oh, and leave the book. Today we are talking about Book Talk. Book Talk started as a community on TikTok where people share their love for reading, review books, and post recommendations. But with every community comes sub-communities. And there's one specific sub-community on Book Talk that has taken over the Book Talk name. And it's women who read smut. And I'm gonna come out and say it. I like a little spice with my coffee in the morning. I like a little hot and heavy romance now and then.
And I think one way to explain a problem with book talk is that it's changed the way people read literature, in that it's not reading literature. It is consuming. It's like fast fashion. Book talk is like fast fashion in the literature world. And it's not just let people like what they like, because a lot of the people in book talk, they are fucking horrible. They are horrible. There are so many scandals and schemes and what's another word that starts with S? Slop shit that is happening in book talk at all times. Like, I see preteens worry that their pedophiles are having crushes on fictional characters who are the same age as them. I've seen this numerous times. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming from Book Talk. That is very Book Talk energy. Or this belief that like, if somebody depicts something that they are condoning it.
Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, just to get to the part where Edward and Bella boned. And then I never picked up the book again. Am I sharing too much? Probably. But what I think is so fascinating about Book Talk is how much of a melting pot of chaos it has become. But I've narrowed it down to 3 sections for you guys to understand it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Just like any other part of TikTok, Book Talk has given a place for bookworms to feel like they can be themselves in and be loved in, and there's a lot of great things about Book Talk. I also think that it's much better to read a book for a few minutes a day than scroll. I don't. Book Talk also is a great place for recommendations of a book. If you're looking for something super specific, Book Talk will have it. They can steer you in.
If fast fashion is bad, what am I supposed to do to get cheap clothes or just go out naked? Yeah, just go out naked. No, obviously I don't think go out naked. I am not saying that you can never buy fast fashion. I understand that for some people it's the option that they have. What I have a problem with is, one, if you are somebody who is in a position that you don't have to be constantly buying fast fashion and yet you continue to because you always also want new clothes every week. I think it's the TikTok hauls too. That's a big part of the issue, where it's like, oh, I wear an outfit for a day and then I discard it. What? That's not how clothes work. You're not supposed to just be following whatever is the week's trends and then buying 5 entire outfits and then wearing them one time, or maybe not at all because they're so cheap, and a lot of times they show up and they are not what they were pictured on the website, and then you think you can just donate them and then out of sight, out of mind, and that's unfortunately not how it goes. So I'm not trying to be the person who's like, ooh, you have to thrift or you're bad. I think thrifting is great. I do recognize that thrifting has unfortunately been it's been taken over by individuals and by companies that have then caused the prices to go up. Thrifting is not what it used to be, but there's still, it's been gentrified. But it still can be great. I get not everybody has thrift stores around them. Okay. To be clear, also when I'm talking about, when I'm using the fast fashion comparison in Book Talk, it's also to describe the way that people purchase these books. Like they're like, it's about consuming. It's like, oh, it's like having 50 Stanley Cups. A lot of people in Book Talk will keep buying books in a way that feels like it is the fast fashion in literature. And so, not that I'm saying buying books is bad, but there are these challenges of like, I read 200 books in a month and they're all smutty books. I'm not saying you can't read smut, but you know what it's like, okay, now this next person's like, oh yeah, I can top that. And so they're buying these books in this very like fast consumer fashion. Book Talk is by people with too much ADHD to properly read a book and absorb nuance, but still want clout in the bookworm space. Yes, it's literally so you can brag about having read X amount of books that month. And there are tons of TikToks that's like, how many books I read insert period of time. And then it's like, I read 30 books this month.
The right direction. Okay, that's it for the good. So there's been a lot of discourse online about if it's okay to read smut in public or not.
The women are reading corn everywhere. Once you see
Usurping
it, you can't
cub,
unsee
thank
it.
you for the
Anybody else
prime.
think it's fucking weird how normalized reading smut in like a room full of people is for people?
I wouldn't advise people to read dirty, filthy smut in public, but if you do, can I interest you in book socks?
Another thing, just to kind of make the comparison of book talk being like, you know, fast fashion of literature, is everything's about trends. It's very trend driven. It's very trend driven in the ways that everything now is trend driven. So the literary quality is deprioritized over quantity, over over speed, over, you know, not necessarily not the type of literature that it all feels as if it's diverse.
Why let everyone know you're gooning when you don't have to? With book socks,
I would say an additional issue with the fast fashion of books is that it encourages authors to write many shitty books instead of quality books. Also, that opens the door for AI
no one
writing,
can tell what kind of
which
smut
has
you're
already
reading
infiltrated
in the
the
subway,
industry.
in the park, or even in the plane. But Carter, what if people look over my shoulder and see the stuff I'm reading? Wouldn't that be bad? Good question. Yes, it would be bad. It would probably make people feel really uncomfortable, but that's okay. It's not one of the worst ways to make people feel uncomfortable. One time, I was riding in the subway car and a guy stood 1 foot in front of me and did the robot with his butt crack out. And then when I accidentally made eye contact, he lunged at me like he was gonna hit me. So at least you're not doing that. New York, New York.
Private Pile, thank you for the 29 months.
Girl, just like that. That's perfect, baby.
Ugh. Do you really need that kind of encouragement to pick up a tomato? Stay at home, you filthy animal. She's probably listening to true crime. I guarantee you nobody.
Wait, have you guys ever heard the story of when Sam and was it Nandre? They were in an Uber. I swear it was the two of them. They were in an Uber and their Uber driver was listening to, they didn't really know it at the time, was listening to an audiobook that was smut. And she picks them up and was like, do you mind if I listen to my audiobook? And they went, oh, sure, no problem. And quickly came to realize that it was very explicit smut. So they're all, oh, it was Jordan. I'm sorry. It was not Andre, it was Jordan. Jordan told, oh my God, that is so, see, I'm blaming it on the CTE. Jordan told the story. Jordan, I was like, why is it? Did Sam tell you that story? It was Jordan told the story. And how they were just sitting there like awkwardly in silence as their driver is just listening to her little smut. Yeah, y'all mind if I goon out? It's okay if I goon out real quickly.
Thinking that you're listening to true crime. If you were listening to true crime with a smile that says, I'm about to cream my jeans, I would be very concerned for you. But that's for later on in the video.
Be a good girl and go buy yourself a book.
What is this shit?
That's it. You're doing so good, love. Add it to the cart. You can take it. Press that checkout button hard.
Capitalism be kind of thirsty now, huh? They've resorted to other
I hate
measures.
that.
No more.
I actually hate that so much. I hate that.
I'm obsessed with this book that I just got. No more, you need this book in your life. No, it's, hey, baby girl, why don't you add a little book in your cart? Daddy wants you to spend your money for me. There are so many bad things to come out of book talk. Also by bad, I mean cringe. And one of the cringiest things that I kept seeing while scrolling through endless amounts of corn on my For You page is book dedications. Leans in to whisper in your ear, aren't you such a good girl? Go on and read this book with your legs wide open for me. Ew. Just ew. I don't like that. I just can't help but think of the author typing that out for me because I'm not in the fantasy world yet. It's just the author saying that, right? What a good fucking girl you are. Spread these pages while you spread your legs. Let all the unhinged, depraved darkness out. Do they mean letting the unhinged, depraved darkness out from in between my legs? Excuse me, but there is no unhinged, depraved darkness there. Only roses.
Also, the writing is so bad. It's just so bad.
And sparkles and rainbows down there. So fuck you. Do you guys remember Teeth? That movie where the girl has teeth down there? Now that's unhinged, depraved darkness. And that's only a romance movie if you're really freaky. To Baby Shark, step aside. Daddy Shark is here now.
I can't believe that there are people that would do something like this.
That one's gotta be the worst, right? I know you did not turn Baby Shark kinky. What the hell? Did you tell him about me? How you stroke those pages when you think of me? Sincerely, your book boyfriend. I'm supposed to be stroking the pages? Am I supposed to be getting the book off? This is the opposite of what I was expecting. This also gives a whole new meaning to finishing the book.
Really? Right now? You know what makes people feel uncomfortable. All right. Sorry. He's into public stuff.
You know how it's
stroke the pages and now I have paper cuts? Oh, God. Fratello Rosso, Thief of the 12 Months.
Like the bar is on the floor or the bar is in hell when it comes to dating men, meaning like a lot of men are doing the bare minimum and it's being seen as like this wonderful thing. And you would think that in the fantasy world or book talk world men would be better, but they're not. I don't know what she's doing.
A little
He
wiener
refuses to
dog.
wear protection. Don't you ever wear one? She asks. Always, he replies. But there's not a chance in hell I'm wearing one for you. Girl, what is this? Somebody sedate me! Why would you find
I wonder, like, when that's all you consume, what that does to your
this
brain.
attractive? He's just gonna give you an STD, girl. He's lying to you. She just gave birth and then he says to the doctor, how long until she can get pregnant again? I am not having the same emotions as the girl in the video. This isn't giving
Yo, where Quan Mills at?
me butterflies. This is giving
Where's
me
Quan Mills?
cockroaches. They're crawling around in my stomach trying to dig their way out while they get slowly murdered by the acid in my esophagus and stomach. They're cooked. I haven't taken my antacid yet today, and I feel nauseous is the whole thing that I was saying there. Plus, like, damn, she just gave birth. Damn. This feels like the same energy as the husband stitch, and if you don't know what that is, I'm happy for you. Keep living in bliss, my dear. I won't harm you with that information today. By far, the cringiest thing to come out of book talk is the thirst traps from Mask Talk and Bike Talk.
Did you hear about the book con where the women that attended sexually assaulted the men there? Wait, didn't someone bring that up? Who covers that kind of stuff? Book con. What the hell? Oh, wait, why did somebody bring that up? This was brought up.
Mask Talk.
This was brought up the other day.
And Bike Talk were made popular by Book Talk because some women are attracted to men with masks. I don't know why that would be. Personally, I need to see a man's face if I know he's going to be attractive or not. What if he takes off his mask and he's a generic handsome man? Ugh. What if he's Glenn Powell? Ugh.
Oh, wait. Ole did a video on Book Talk is insane for no reason. I'm telling you, this is something that a lot of people have been talking about for a minute, and Book Talk shows no signs of slowing down is all I will say. Okay, let me see what this is. Boston Romantasy Convention descends into fiasco as authors are subjected to creepy behavior and male guest is groped by presumably mostly female attendees and has air tags slipped into his pants. What the fuck? The Sinners and Stardust romantic fantasy literature convention has been thrown into chaos. The convention organizers have released a statement announcing major policy changes as a result of the situation. All right, y'all. It appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. Good Lord. I hope this is not because of the nonstop slop that they consume. A lot of you may know a good friend of mine, Animus, who is also Ethereal Reason. He has attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a music artist. This past weekend, he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him with the consent? Why is this like having to talk to children? Just because he's a man, do you think that you can touch him without his consent? No. Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't, and then, that shit is fiction? Trash talk my books to any books to him and try to get him to join in, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get the fuck away. He had sweat resistance black paint airbrushed on his chest and was told the only thing that will move it is body oils. Why did this man end the night with almost all of it rubbed off and a handprint smeared across his chest? I want y'all to seriously sit with yourselves and your actions and ask yourself if you would be okay with a strange man doing that to you. What the fuck? Oh my God. That somehow kept getting worse. And if that wasn't bad enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received a notification that an AirTag was tracking him, which showed it on his person all the way to his hotel room. He knows how AirTags work and that close by ones can trigger notifications. This was not the case. Also, he got the notifications way later because he had no signal at the event and it didn't come through until he got signal again. This is sickening, and I am ill that someone might have planted a tracking device on him. You guys do know that these books are fiction, right? We enjoy these books because they're fiction. We do not condone these actions in real life. And while it's okay to act out your fantasies consensually with a trusted adult, this is to adults. This is to adults who attended this. And while it's okay to act out your fantasies consensually with a trusted adult, it's not okay to ask a complete stranger to do so or take it upon yourselves to sexually assault him. Like, ? I'm so disappointed that he was treated this way. I brought him into this space because I trusted that he would be safe with y'all. And the fact that he wasn't is quite eye-opening. And boy, does this affect my decisions for my own future attendance. Especially because he was not the only one disrespected at this event by a long shot. So many authors are coming out about people crossing boundaries in a multitude of ways. I need a fucking drink, Jesus Christ. I know, me too. I've had to leave this conversation before with asking my husband gross personal questions. So why are we taking it a step further and assaulting people now? I am genuinely shocked that as women or women presenting, some of y'all thought it was okay to act this way. And as someone who brought him into this space, I feel responsible for him. I'm fucking sad that some of my own readers were a part of this behavior. If this was you, please learn basic respect, boundaries, and how to ask for consent. Treat others the way you would want to be treated by a strange man. And for the love of God, please do not come near me in public. And then here is, what is this? Oh, these are all just different. First and foremost, I want to thank the community for the overwhelming support since these incidences have been exposed. I also want to commend Sinners and Stardust for implementing a new guideline and rules to make events like these safer for everyone attending. Aside from the ball, I had an amazing time at the signing, and I'm grateful I got to meet all of you. I would like to make it known that I'm not comfortable pressing charges, partly because there were a lot of people involved, and because of my mask, I couldn't see very well. I think this is the guy. It's impossible to remember every one of them, and truthfully, I don't want to force myself to anyway. When I was cornered at the ball, I panicked and blacked out, so a lot of that night is a blur, and I'm still trying to process it. If I'm being honest, I felt their hands better than I could see their faces. This is horrible. I'm new to this world, and this was my first big event, so I'm not familiar with anyone in the community outside of my friends yet. But with that said, I do not want to put myself through any more of this by dealing with authorities and trying to remember names and faces and who did what. I just want to make music, read awesome books, and continue to help support the amazing authors in this community. As for the AirTag, we were unable to find out who planted it. After the ball, I undressed for bed. By the time I was notified the next day, we had already left the hotel. We did confirm the AirTag was no longer on me or in my bag and was likely left somewhere in the room from undressing that night. All we know is based on the notification, it started tracking me when I was at the ball and surrounded by people, and it tracked me all the way to my hotel room, which was a different hotel in Boston and not the same one as the event. While this was extremely unnerving to find out, I'm glad I didn't see it until later and glad nothing happened that night. Holy shit. I'm sorry if my decision is disappointing to everyone. I know you all have asked that I press charges. I really don't want to upset any of you by not doing so. I really want to know where this... What the fuck happened at this event? I mean, I know because we read these detailed accounts, but like, what is going on? How did this not make like more of a splash? I mean, I know this is a specific... This is a very... this is a specific world, right? This is not everybody is aware of this kind of corner of the world, but I'm just flabbergasted. Can you imagine? Like, it's crazy. Oh, Jesus. I just wanted awareness so precautions can be put in place. For those who say that I should have set better boundaries in the moment when things happened, it brought back past drama. No, fuck that. What do you mean? No, see, okay, you know what this is too? This is a crossover with therapy talk. Setting better boundaries. Oh my God. That's therapy. That's therapy talk. Do you see the crossovers here? Do you see the crossover? Book talk, therapy talk. God. Jesus. In a moment when things happened, it brought back past trauma, which ultimately made me shut down and black out. I also didn't want anyone to feel unsafe or disrespected. I wanted to make sure everyone had a good time. You shouldn't have to be like, hey, by the way, my boundaries are don't put your hands down my pants. Hey, you're like, don't do that. Why should you have to say my boundaries are don't sexually assault me? What? Yeah, I mean, don't touch anybody without their consent, but also on top of it, these are strangers. This is an event he was invited to as a guest. Like, I don't know if he's an author. It said he does music, whatever. But this was a public ticketed event. Whoever is out here being like, you just really need to set boundaries. You need to fuck off. I'm sorry you feel that I should have done more, and I truly wish I did as well. Thank you, H.D. Carlton, for being the voice when mine fell short and supporting me through this, as well as Inez, Santana, blah, 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 blah. I'm taking some time to process and heal. I will continue to pour my heart and soul into my music. I hope more than anything this incident is not what everyone chooses to remember me by, and that one day my music will speak louder. Thank you, Animus. Oh my God. Here to hold myself accountable. I am deeply, deeply sorry from the bottom of my heart to anyone who I made uncomfortable or hurt at the ball. Okay, so now this is another person. I really, truly was not thinking clearly, and I was ignorant to the fact that it would hurt some. Something I thought was just harmless fun, where a lot of others did it as well, would not be viewed the same way as everyone else. It will never happen again. Being human, we make mistakes and we learn from them. I promise this was a teaching moment. See, I'm okay. I'm kind of concerned still, because a teaching moment to me when you're an adult is, hey, that's a harmful phrase that you just used. I don't know if you know the context to it, but there is historical context and it's harmful. So don't say that, okay? Or a teaching moment of like, oh man, I didn't have insurance for my car, blah, 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 and I've had to learn the hard way, whatever it is. I have a problem with like being human, we make mistakes. This was a teaching moment of having engaged in mass sexual assault against a man at this event. Like, how do you not know to not do that to people? What are we doing? And so on the one hand, sure, this person is publicly posting about holding themselves accountable. They didn't have to come forward and identify themselves. But I'm just like, what's happening? What's happening here? What's going on? It was in no way me trying to be malicious, but I see that it was. I did not mean to be that person in any way, shape, or form, and I hate that I did that to anyone attending the dance. Please forgive me. I cannot say how sorry I am enough. This is so concerning. It's really concerning that there was this huge group of adult women, for the most part it seems, at this book talk related event who just engaged in collectively assaulting this male artist, and then are like, yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was just for fun, but I've realized that, yeah, that I really shouldn't do that. Oh my God. Okay. And then here's the thing that Sinners in Stardust, where your darkest dreams become reality. And okay, I'm not trying to presume, but I am concerned for people who this is the kind of nonstop slop that they consume. I'm not condemning smut in general. I'm not like, you can't get a little goony with it. You know, I like a little from time to time, a little beach read. Okay. When I just kind of want to turn my brain off. But there are people who've made this their entire personality. And it's also the mass overconsumption as being part of your personality. I have 200 Labubus and 40 Stanley Cups, and also 1,000 facial products. All those TikToks where it's like, come along with me when I show you how many perfumes I have. And then they'll have 10 shelves filled with perfumes, because it's all about it's all about that show. It's that consumption that is like cultural currency, that is a way that people they form their identities. And book talk shit, it's along those lines. The girls have bookshelves in their goon caves. So I am just like, I don't know if this is doing good things for you. It doesn't seem to be. And I never want to yuck someone's yum, okay? Whatever your personal tastes are, sure. But when this becomes your entire personality and your whole life, and then you are behaving in really awful ways, it's brain rot. We are endlessly grateful to every single one of you who joined us for Sinners in Stardust. Those who respected the heart of this community by asking for consent and honoring personal space. Our mission with Sinners in Stardust has always been to create something rare, a space where the dark romance community can feel safe, celebrated, and free to share their love of the stories that move us most. We need to be absolutely clear. Safety, security, and consent are not just values. They are non-negotiable. No is a complete sentence. But the tagline? Yeah, the tagline is where your darkest dreams become reality. Ugh. Our authors, narrators, vendors, influencers, artists, and special guests are not just names on a book cover or faces on your screen. They are people, human beings who deserve the same dignity, safety, and respect as every attendee. This is a message for adults. For adults! They give their time, talent, and energy to this community, and in return, we expect every single person in attendance to treat them with the respect that they deserve. Moving forward, the following changes will be in place at all Sinners in Stardust events. Masks. Attendees are no longer allowed to wear full masks to any part of our event. No exceptions. Medical masks for health and safety are permitted. Entertainment. Entertainment will continue, but roaming interactive entertainers will no longer be part of the ball. Safety for our guests. Authors, narrators, vendors, their assistants, our influencers, and special guests will now have a secure, dedicated area during the ball with their own security. They may move freely between areas, but attendees are not permitted in their area under any circumstances. If an attendee is caught trying to go into their secured space, they will be immediately removed and banned from future events. I am telling you also, these guidelines that they're laying out are because this is what their attendees were doing. It's the whole persons with active diarrhea do not go in the pool. That's because persons with active diarrhea went in the fucking pool. So they are laying out these specific new changes because this is what was happening. Smaller, safer events. We're decreasing the amount of tickets available to ensure a more comfortable, safe, and respectful experience for everyone. These rules are not suggestions. They are expectations. Violations including harassment, non-consensual touching, photos taken without permission, invasive questions, or any behavior that makes others feel unsafe will result in immediate removal and a permanent ban from all future Sinners and Stardust hosted events. These events thrive because of passion, creativity, and community. But community cannot exist without respect. Every single attendee has a responsibility to uphold these standards. To anyone affected this weekend negatively, from the bottom of our hearts, we are truly sorry and will work harder to gain your trust back as a safe and inclusive event. To everyone who respected boundaries and helped us uphold the spirit of this community, we are truly grateful. Your care makes all the difference, and we can't wait to welcome you at future events. All of our love, Jen, Bethany, Joy, and Red. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Yes, I agree. To be clear, it's not that like if you read smut, then you act this way. There's plenty of people who like love erotic fiction, love smut, like fanfic, that kind of stuff. But I am trying to see how like this is crazy, okay? This is not just, oh, there was someone at the event that was that like something bad happened, but not like this massive crowd of attendees descending on this invited guest in this manner. Like I do think there is something about there being toxicity in these specific spaces. It's not like just in general, if you read smut, you're a psychopath. You're like going around and just assaulting strangers. It's something about these spaces, though, that I think is fostering really bad, unhealthy behaviors. Is this, I wonder if this is similar to when dudes think they can assault cosplayers just because they have in a costume. I wonder if they dehumanize him in a similar fashion. They see a character or concept more than a person. Yeah, I mean, I really think women are not properly talked to about how consent goes both ways. Not saying they don't know any better, but I think men will always. Okay, so yes, what I will say around consent in just the way that in like American culture, for instance, the way that consent is taught is it's not taught well and it's not widespread education at an early age. We are getting better, but as far as no, hold on, chill, because I know what that chatter is saying. I think what that chatter is saying is in regards to how we talk. A lot of times conversation around consent feels like it's directed at straight men, all right? And we aren't including in these conversations the fact that, consent is not just something that straight men need to understand. And it's because a lot of the abuse, the way people think about abuse is between, is like heterosexual man versus heterosexual woman. And it's why we still have issues with men reporting, when men say that they've been sexually abused, whether it's by another man, it's by a woman, the way that is just so dismissed and laughed at, and lots of issues there. Or in queer, in queer spaces, again, it's the whole, oh, well, you're queer, so it's not abuse. Like there's just there's a lot of misinformation, lack of education just about how sexual abuse and notions like consent needs to be applied and understood in all aspects of our society, in all corners of our culture. So that chatter was not like insinuating from that women don't have don't have abusive experiences that they are victims of. That's of course not. But fuck my bad. I'm meaning they think, but they think men no. I understand. I do. I'm also probably not explaining it that well right now. Okay, this is just an anecdote. But there have been a couple instances that I have known of women who would get drunk and would grope men. Didn't matter if they were friends with them or not, because it doesn't matter. And it was always the same thing. It was like these couple instances I had. And then eventually, there was one where my friend and I had to go talk to this woman and tell her that what she's doing is assault. And I don't think she saw it as that, because of this thinking that, no, I'm a woman, so I am not in the position of power here. So therefore, me grabbing this guy's dick as a joke, like, that's not assault. It would be assault if he did it to me. And it's because of like misunderstandings of these power dynamics, and also feeding into this notion that for straight guys, like, you can't get assaulted because it's, isn't it just if it's a woman, isn't it every man's dream to just have sex with women? That kind of weird ass shit. Or if it's a man, it's like, oh, you're gay. And therefore, if it's gay, it's not assault. Okay, so anyway, and guys that this had happened to, I remember them being like, I don't know what to do about this. And also saying, I don't even know if this is this assault? Like, asking me, is this wrong? And I go, before I answer that question, first of all, how did you feel? And they would say, like, I felt uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't ask for it. I go, okay, so I think just even taking that into, understanding that that's being violated. And there's a reason that you felt uncomfortable. There's a reason you felt like a physical response to that. I said, and it's not okay. No, it's not okay. Somebody, even if they're a friend of yours, a female friend of yours, can't just walk up to you on a dance floor and grab your dick. Like, unless you have a relationship where you've prior had given consent, I don't know. That seems like not really something that would happen, but I'm just trying to explain that, okay, in the instance that, yes, you had said, it's totally, you walk up to me on the dance floor and grab my dick, but no, that's not happening. So, anyway, how the fuck did we end up here? We were talking about book talk. And then this got sent to me. Yeah, I'm not trying to do the like causation or correlation is not causation. in saying that reading nonstop smut is what made this mob of women assault this man at a publicly ticketed event, like on the main on the main floor. But I do think that in some of these communities and the really toxic behaviors that I see, like in this culture around book talk, and a lot of times I'll just see really alarming TikToks. I just see really alarming TikToks, and it's making me concerned about this culture. Does that make sense? Ay, ay, ay. Somebody in the comments said, this reminds me of a couple years ago when the Seattle Kraken hockey team went viral on Book Talk for some reason. Their PR team decided to lean into it and started putting out thirst traps for the Book Talk girlies. It was all fun and games until the Book Talkers started leaving graphic, obscene, and sexually explicit comments on the socials of the players and their families. I remember the wife of the player had to step in. What in the hell? What? I have not heard about this before. Surrounding yourself in any hive mind is dangerous for people's critical thinking skills. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's not just specific to Book Talk. It's just that we're talking about Book Talk right now. But hive mind mentality, yeah, it's not good. Hockey is a big topic on Book Talk for some reason. Why? Wait, I discussed this? Uh-oh. I covered this? No, I don't remember covering. Did I? I promise you did. Okay, wait. Let me just start reading some. August 9, 2023. The niche world of hockey romance novels is getting mainstream attention after the wife of an NHL player criticized book fans who she said had made comments and videos on social media about her husband that were predatory and exploiting. Here's what happens when the world of professional sports, romance novels, and TikTok collided. On TikTok, people share book recommendations and reviews under the hashtag Book Talk, and the community has become a powerful force in publishing. More than 100 authors with large Book Talk followings drove $760 million in sales, a 60% increase from 2021. Romance is a big part of the Book Talk universe as its popular subgenre hockey romance, which falls under the broader sports romance category. Recent hits have included Anna Szabo and L.A. Witt's Scoreless Game, a love story between two longtime friends who are players on the fictional Pittsburgh Griffins, an overnight sensation by Serena Bowen, an office intern for the fictional Brooklyn Bruisers, moves in with a player after leaving the condo she lives in with her father, the Hockey League's commissioner. Okay, I am not saying I haven't covered this story before. I don't remember it. I'm going to be for real. But I also have covered Book Talk before. I have covered Book Talk at multiple points. But I'm not remembering this. Sarah Bricknall, the events and media manager for the Melbourne Mustangs, told the Hillshire Times, a Sydney newspaper, that 15 to 30 Book Talk fans had been at every home game since the team joined TikTok in May. How did things go wrong? Well, that's always the question, isn't it? Mr. Arthur gave you CTE. Yeah, Mr. Arthur needs to come in here and drop another 100 subs because my CTE is not going away. Look at the creator who they kicked out. Okay, wait. On the internet, the lines between fictional players and real-life ones can blur, especially when teams use Book Talk to promote themselves. A video posted to the Seattle Kraken's official TikTok account that has since been archived showed Alex Wenberg, a center for the team, walking down a hallway in a suit with the text, "When you accidentally become a Book Talk account, and now that's all you can post." Other posts by romance fans on Book Talk have talked about a specific player as a stand-in for a favorite fictional hockey player, or showed game footage overlaid with quotes from hockey romance books. A segment of these posts are sexually explicit, and some fans have posted explicit comments of players' personal social media accounts. Emily Roth, the author of Pucking Around, a romance bestseller on Amazon, said on TikTok, "Pucking Around," good God, that some fans had raised concerns about inappropriate behavior directed at players earlier this year. "True hockey romance readers have been here before," Miss Roth said on TikTok. "We watched it all unfold in April. We were ringing the alarm bells. We were asking that it stop." Well, it sounds like it didn't. The main lady on Book Talk made some obscene videos about this man. What are we doing, ladies? The conflict peaked when an NHL player's wife got involved, so the issue started to attract attention from outside the romance world when Felicia Wenberg, the wife of Alex Wenberg, said that some posts about her husband had gone too far. Miss Wenberg said on Instagram stories that while she had initially joked about some of the videos and comments, they had since crossed the line of what it means to fancy someone, and when it actually sounds pretty predatory and exploiting. Her statement described what she considered acceptable, such as positive comments about her husband's looks, and what she did not, such as chanting "crack my back" at players at games. She asked people to think twice about their posts. In response, her Instagram account was flooded with harassing messages. Mr. Wenberg then issued a statement on social media about the vile comments. "We can all take a joke and funny comments, but when it turns personal and into something bigger that affects our family, we need to tell you that we've had enough. Enough of sexual harassment and harassment of our character and our relationship." The Kraken has since removed its TikTok post about Book Talk. Yeah, here's the thing, y'all. Especially after someone comes out and is like, "Please stop doing this," you need to stop doing it. How did TikTok creators respond? I remember that there were Book Talkers that were preying on a 17-year-old kid that rides motorcycles, saying some crazy fanfic in his comments. Book Talk has this weird mentality when it comes to smut. They'll look down on gooners fetching porn, but will treat their books like sacred texts. Again, it's this showiness. It's this overconsumption. It's cultural currency. It's like, oh, having a million black dresses because you can buy them all off Shein, having a million books with like shiny covers that are all the exact same quality wise. It's the obsession with that consumption, and it's how social media just goes hand in hand with overconsumption and consumerism. It's just a consumption obsession that also translates to this space. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so the sexually explicit posts were made by a small sliver of the Book Talk community. One creator, Kira Lewis, had made a video that Miss Wenberg cited as an example of inappropriate behavior. And Miss Lewis has since posted a handful of videos responding to the situation. Miss Lewis, who has 1.1 million followers on TikTok, had been flown out to a Kraken game earlier this year after she posted videos featuring explicit comments about NHL players. That's also on that's on these whoever's doing that, right? Why are you doing that? Why are you flying out this lady who has 1 million followers on TikTok because she's posting videos with really explicit comments about your players? That's rewarding her. She said that she had privately messaged Miss Wenberg on Instagram to apologize. Miss Lewis said the Kraken TikTok account had unfollowed her, leaving her confused and upset. In her videos responding to the controversy, Miss Lewis expressed frustration with the team for backing away after it encouraged her, and with Miss Wenberg for using one of Miss Lewis's posts as an example. She defended her videos by saying that TikTok is for entertainment. Yeah, that excuse doesn't work, okay? If you're harassing someone, you can't be like, it's just entertainment. Miss Lewis did not respond to a request for comment. The Kraken said in a statement that they had originally engaged with Book Talk to connect with new audiences, but were reminded by this situation that unintended consequences may arise. Oh yeah. It is disappointing that a small percentage of online commentators crossed a line, the statement said. We consider this a learning moment for the org and have taken appropriate action. Jeez. God. It really seems to be a lot of learning moments here. Yeah, a lot of learning moments where it's like, how are you a full-grown adult? How are you a full-grown adult? And a learning moment for you is to not publicly sexually harass or assault somebody. This was 2 years ago. It's definitely gotten worse. Yeah, there's also always like crazy racist, controversial scammer stories coming out of Book Talk. What sucks is if the player didn't have his wife stand up for him, this would have gone further. Yeah, it's kind of wild the wife had to be like, hey, stop it. Racist scammers? Yeah. My favorite kind of scammers. You should support small literary presses. The other part about this story that I think concerns me is this, okay? Book Talk has become so powerful, and this was 2 years ago. They've only become more powerful since. They are now directly affecting publishing because authors with large Book Talk followings are leading these sales, which means that these publishers then are wanting to prioritize this kind of like this kind of stuff, this kind of material. You know, it's kind of I think just in general when we look across like art and the literary worlds, how stuff that is digestible and sensational and that is popular on social media platforms is what gets a lot of attention and takes up a lot of is taking up a lot of space. I don't even want to get into how many white authors have pretended to be POC on Book Talk. Spoiler alert, it's 3. I know we've covered at least 1 or 2 of those. I know. I think I'm trying to, sorry, I keep sighing. I keep being like, we all love slop. I love slop. Why the hell do you think that I watched And Just Like That? It's not even good slop. It's not even good slop. And I sat through every episode of fucking And Just Like That and watched it all. It's not about being like everything that you engage with has to be super intellectual, high quality, blah, blah, blah. I think a little slop can be good for you, you know? But it's the way that it's the slopification of what seems to be so much of culture. And it's not that lowbrow type cultural stuff has never been in existence. But it's like, it's not just that there's a specific part of TikTok where this is what the vibe is, right? This is what's going on there. It's that it's also affecting the actual world of, you know, the world of literature, from how publishers are changing their, I don't know, publishers are changing their targets, what they are focusing on, what bookstores are putting out, what kind of authors are getting signed, are getting promoted, and also just like how it is, we talk all the time about how we are losing how we are losing out on the ability to be critical thinkers and readers, and this books being commodities, and the reading and writing and selling of books leaning into what these kinds of TikTok corners have fashioned themselves into. I think it's just really dampening. I think it's overall art and literature is just in the toilet. I do. I don't know. I feel like I'm dancing around saying it. Art and literature seems to just be in the toilet. It's being kind of squeezed. If I recall correctly, there's a black woman on TikTok that wrote a phenomenal series, and her publisher said that she'd have to have more traction on Book Talk. Meanwhile, a dude with 1 million followers got a contract to release the books he wrote in a couple months because he was popping on Book Talk. I remember when no one took booktubers as real authors, and now Book Talk is leading the industry. How the changed have times. If only we could fund the arts. Look, if it were up to me, aside from, healthcare and all those things, arts funding would be top of the list. Top of the list. All right. Everybody would get to be a theater kid. Everybody would be, everyone from birth would get to be a theater kid if they want to be a theater kid. Fuck STEM. All right, Sam has agreed to play at 9:00, which is in 5 minutes, which is great. So, there's an ant walking across my desk. Very cool. Very great. Very, very good. Any comments, any questions on this lovely Saturday night? Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Have we seen this yet? If it's not a picture of Trump's dead body, why don't you send everyone proof of life first? Either way, Chicago doesn't want you here. Is this a truth that he socialed? 6 people were killed and 24 people shot in Chicago last weekend. And J.B. Pritzker, the weak and pathetic governor of Illinois, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, show life, bitch. Show life. Comment, thank you for being you. You're welcome. Anything else happening? Wasn't that truth old? Aren't all these truths old? What is... we have a new Pop Crave tweet. Tyrese Gibson is crying. Why?
This one is different.
This is a 30-minute video?
Another crying video, but this one is different.
Wait, why is this another crying video, but this one is different? Wait, what's happening? Why did he post a 30-minute video? What's the context to this? I ain't watching all that. I'm sorry that happened, or what's the... At Gork, why is he always crying? Wait,
with a heart full of gratitude.
Why? What? What?
Nice to actually see how blessed you are.
What?
That something that I thought was on the brink of destruction got turned around.
Is he talking about Fast and Furious?
Handsome. I might have the gift of the gab. I might know how to... I might live in this. I might be an entertainer. I might be all of these different things, but I can't say that I'm responsible for that. I didn't fix that.
Okay, I need a TLDR on this.
Some of y'all are missing out. Oh, you're missing out. Oh, you out here trying to figure it all out by yourself.
This was you off the edibles that one stream? So true.
Here thinking that your marriage is gonna last without inviting...
Wait, is he just talking about his life?
And vulnerable places and spaces. Oh... You're gonna see.
Oh, that's funny. This is a post from 3 hours ago. Exactly why Shia is and will forever be my brother for life. Because Shia LaBeouf encountered Jesus through a movie role. A movie role. Oh, that's not... Oh, girl, no. Yeah. If you're gonna be crying about anything, it's about how your stupid ass posted... how Shia is and will forever be your brother for life. Why don't you cry about that?
You're gonna see. Oh no, don't.
Yo, how is this almost 30 minutes?
His vows. I missed my flight.
What? This is one of those videos. Any point you click on, you're like, what is this?
I just sat there. Didn't move.
Like, do you know what I mean? A lot of times, okay, you're watching someone's video, you can get the gist even if you click at different points. Like a type of video like this, which is a celebrity doing an authentic, honest, here's me crying, talking to the people.
Mixing songs. No vocals. Now you can listen to all of the music.
Do you know what I mean by that? Every single point I have clicked at on this video, I go, what's going on?
With no vocals from Beautiful Pain. We were able to get you on the next flight. I said, are you serious? I said, I was supposed to be in Charleston, South Carolina. Follow me, please. Just get your bag and follow me. I'm in seat 30. Wasn't supposed to be on the plane. So my plane land.
Okay, at least he's consistently talking about the plane now.
I said, hey, Ty. I said, what?
Is he talking about himself?
Bishop Jakes is still here.
I said, hey, Ty? Isn't he Ty?
I said, what? Feelings and emotions? That's fine. What more do you want from me? Congratulations, my Shayla. Go ahead, get it out your system.
Shayla!
Let's go back to...
Wait, he's Shayla? Hold on a second. Wait. Tyrese Gibson is my Shayla? It's the same. Okay. Let me explain. So my little sisters are obsessed with TikTok and they're always sending me TikToks. I don't look at any of them, but they often speak in memes. Okay. So when we were in Portugal, they kept being like, my Shayla. And I went, what the hell is my Shayla? What the hell is my Shayla? And then, so they explained it to me and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't know it's Tyrese Gibson. Okay. Here's the background. Tyrese Gibson uploaded a video of himself crying on Instagram on August 30th, 2025. This feels like it's AI. He called it a gratitude cry, stating that it came from waking up with a heart full of thankfulness for the blessings in his life. Another crying video reel was posted the day after an Instagram video from August 29, 2025, where the death of his father was announced. Wait, but that's a separate video? In the earlier post, sadness and feelings of isolation. Yeah, I'm sure Josette Caruso, whose bio says, Trump is my president, Zelensky is a fraud, Klaus Schwab is evil, no jab, IFBAP, Jeff Beck was the love of my life. Yeah, I feel like she definitely is a person who wrote this all out and it's not AI. In the earlier post, sadness and feelings of isolation were expressed with the statement, I'm now a motherless and fatherless child. The timing of the post coincided with the release of an instrumental album called Beautiful Pain. The August 30th post followed the grief shared earlier and reflected a shift to gratitude despite the pain. Reactions to past emotional posts were addressed with the words, here we go, crying on the internet again, right? No, a gratitude cry. This is the most recent in a series of emotional and public social media posts from Tyrese. Over the years, these posts have often captured media attention and gone viral. It's the only thing I've found, but it's definitely AI. I gotta be so for real. This is a world that I have not been privy to before. The Tyrese Gibson crying videos. And I just now am realizing that the My Shayla, which I did learn of because my sisters kept saying it. I was like, what the heck is that? I didn't know that is also, that's also Tyrese. No, I didn't know that he's been doing this for decades. I mean, okay, let me wrap this up because time to play some goddamn Resident Evil. But that's sad. That's sad that his dad died. However, this is a kind of a strange thing to be known for, that you're just always posting videos. You are posting videos of you that are quite long and they're crying videos. Why is this? Get this man a diary. I mean, I guess it's good. Men crying. Okay, that's healthy. But I am wondering, I'm wondering what's going on. You know? How is this something that you are known for other than your music and acting? You know? I think there are people who only know Tyrese Gibson, not because they're like, damn, loved him in Fast 5 and Furious 7 and Too Fast, Too Furious and all the other ones. But now he's like an internet figure. That's like such a funny thing about the internet. A funny thing about the internet is that celebrities can become known, dead or alive, celebrities dead or alive, can become known for something that is, they become known by younger generations, not for their work, but because they are online memes. It's like Shelley Duvall, where a lot of Zoomers knew Shelley Duvall because the "Hi, I'm Shelley Duvall" was like a TikTok trend. They don't know Shelley Duvall, the actress, the actress who came up in the 70s. They're like, "Oh, I know about her from TikTok." Okay, but Too Fast, Too Furious is incredible. True. You know, if he's not hurting anyone, let him vent. Yeah, I don't think it's the... I guess it's not the worst thing to have a 30-minute video of you crying on the internet. I wouldn't do it, only because I don't think it's good to get into a relationship with the internet that is like this, where it becomes a thing that you post really long emotional videos about yourself, or you post these videos online to the point that you become known for doing this kind of thing. You're scared of vulnerability. No, I'll be as vulnerable as the day is long. I think what it is I think a lot of people just have a really unhealthy relationship with the internet. And I get it, you go online because you want attention and you want people to see you, to hear you. I don't think people post things on the internet without the intention of getting engagement from it. Even if you're like, oh my God, I was not posting that for anyone to see. It's like, okay, well, it's called a diary then. Otherwise, like, if you're not posting something for the internet to see, there are other options that you have, like sending a text message in a group chat, writing stuff in your diary, that kind of thing. But some level of interaction, engagement. Can you cry for 30 minutes on command? 30 minutes straight? That's a lot. I couldn't do that. Have I cried for 30 minutes or more? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Can Demi list every Fast and Furious movie in order? No one can do that.
Remember, you only have one shot!
Clever Ghost, thank you for the prime.
Too Fast, Too Furious. The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious. Fast 5. Fast and Furious 6. Furious 7. The Fate of the Furious. F9. Fast X.
Like, literally, why does that sound like they could be Elon Musk's children? Fast X, that's an Elon Musk child. If I didn't know they were naming Fast and Furious movies, I'd be like, oh, Elon had 10 more kids. F9.
I didn't even mention the two spin-offs.
Fast
Los
X.
Bandoleros, the other one.
Demi, that is a point for you, and the scores are tied.
That is
incredible.
I cannot believe he did that. I would have been like, okay, Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious 2, Fast and Furious 3, Fast and Furious, wait for it, 4. Let me keep going since I'm on a hot streak of Fast and Furious 5. And then I'd go, are there more than that? And they'd say, yes. Yeah. there's more. I'd go, okay, Fast and Furious 6? Fast and Furious 7? And then I'd go, surely there can't be more than that. Surely I've gotten to 7. That's got to be it. And they'd go, nope, that's not it. And I'd go, oh, okay. I've lost track of where we're at. So I'll just say the next Fast and Furious. And then the next Fast and Furious after that Fast and Furious. And then I'd be like, I have to be done. I'd have to. There absolutely cannot be more. And they would say, not yet. But it's coming next year. Fast X Part 2. And I'd go, okay. And then that's the last one, right? And they'd look at me like this. You idiot. You naive, sweet summer child. Yeah, and then they go, and we haven't even gotten to the spinoffs. And then my head would explode. You ignorant slut. There isn't going to be a final Fast and Furious. Family is forever. I can't wait to see when I'm an old lady and I'm dying and I'm saying goodbye to everything around me, and I see a billboard for, like, I don't know, at that point 50th Fast and Furious film, and I just nod and I smile and I go, at least one thing I can be sure of will still be around after I'm gone, and that is the Fast and Furious franchise. They'll reboot it and call it Furious and Fast. Furious and Fast. But this time it's Furious and Fast. That's right, folks. It's not Fast and Furious. It's Furious and Fast. Yeah, death, taxes, and Fast and Furious. This time they're women. In another life, I would have done laundry and taxes and also watched every single Fast and Furious with you. I can't believe that wasn't a part of that line. In another life, I would do laundry and taxes with you. Now it's not about family. Family is dead. Okay. I am gonna, oh my God. I know, Sam, I know when she's addicted to something. And let me tell you, she is deep. She is deep in the addiction. She is deep in the addiction to this fucking water park simulator. But I'm going to call her and be like, if we don't play now, then we're not playing. She has become the simulation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know, I can't even do an intervention. I can't even do an intervention.
Hey.
Oh, there you
Hey.
are.
Dude, I was.
Yeah, remember when you said you were going to go live?
4.5 out of 5 stars.
Remember when you said you were going to go live at 5:30 and then yap for 30 minutes is exactly what you said. You're like, I'm going to yap for 30 minutes and then I'm going to start the game. And then that will give me at least 3 hours. Did that happen?
No, I was a little bit late for stream because I was stinky.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I was really stinky because it's hot out, and then I was thinking about the time it was going to take for me to clean up for stream, and I was like, ugh.
So did you even end up showering?
I did not shower. No, I just kind of, no, I just, I dealt with it. I dealt with it.
Okay. Well, good thing you live alone.
Okay.
Is what I will say.
I know that's the best part about streaming is that your customers don't actually have to smell you and be appalled by the way that.
Did you just call them customers?
I've been playing Water Park Simulator for like 3 days.
I know you have.
I'm not thinking of them as customers, but they have been customers to me for 3 days.
You just fucking called them customers.
It's because of Water Park Sim.
I know. You're addicted.
At least I didn't call them patrons.
You didn't even realize you said customers.
Every time I look at my chat, I just see them. Every time I look at my chat, I just see them in all of their swimsuits, shitting and pissing all over my park.
Is that all they are to you? Is just nameless, faceless customers you can serve your slop up to?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
waiting because my neighbor called me and left a voicemail and was like, "Hey, I think I left my water on. Like, do you think you could go check? Like, I'll give you the code." Like, and I texted back because it was a bit later, and I said, "Hey, sorry, I just saw this. What's up?" And I'm waiting, and they haven't replied to me. So now I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be honest. I listened to about half of that.
And then you stopped listening?
No. I listened to some of it, and then I was changing my stream title, and then I listened back in.
Right. How do you feel about it?
I'm pissed.
Okay, perfect.
Or I'm happy.
Okay.
One of those.
Good.
Great. I'm happy for you, or let me know who.
Stupid.
Let me know who I gotta talk to, you know?
Stupid. Okay. Ready to do this?
Yeah, let's freaking.
Dude, you know what I need to do though before?
This.
This is the second time in the last like month and a half that I have hurt my back purely from sleeping. And I feel like I need to take an Advil and heat up. I got one of those like bean like heating bag things that you put in your microwave and you like put on your.
Okay, yeah. Wait, a bean that you heat up.
It's a bag full of beans.
Yeah.
It's not just one bean.
Okay. Wait.
So can I take like 30 seconds and go do that or no?
You want to go? Yeah.
I'm gonna go heat up my bean bag.
I am so sorry. My brain is cooked. I thought
Are
you were
you
just
alive right now?
I thought you were
Do you
just
want me
telling me about it. I didn't know you were like, "Hey, can I go use it?"
I think you're just tuning me out. I think you're starting to learn that I just talk for attention.
No, I swear you were like, yeah, I've had these back, like I've slept wrong a couple times now. I fucked my back up. And then you were telling me about this bean heating bag. And I thought you were just talking about it.
Like to the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know there was like a CTA. Like,
this is going to go really well doing the final level of this game.
Okay. You can, yes, you have
I'm going to go heat up baby back.
you have permission.
And then I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take Advil. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to everybody. I'll talk to everyone. All right. What's going on? What's happening? Oh, okay. Wait. I did forget. I did take a little bit of weed before I went live because I forgot about it and it's kicking in a little bit. Ahem. So, what? Are we cops here or something? Is everybody a cop? Huh. Well. Huh. Okay. All right, everybody's part of the PD. No one let Sam know that. No, you know what's really annoying though is that Will accuse me of not listening. I really do think I'm actually a good listener. He accuses me of not listening to him, but I also accuse him of not listening to me. And okay, so this is what happens all the time. He'll be like, I told you that. I said, no, you told me that was happening, but I asked you what time. I asked you for more details, and you're always like, I don't have the details. So then, okay, so for instance, Shinobi, this game that he was playing the last 2 nights. And it's not big things either. It's like really these small little things, but we look at each other. I'm like, no, I'm right. He goes, I have to play this game, Shinobi. I said, okay, so I assume it's a sponsorship. You just play a certain amount of time. So then I think it was yesterday. I was like, are you done? He goes, I told you I have to finish this game. And I said, no, you didn't tell me you had to finish the game. And on stream he goes, she doesn't listen to me. And I went, oh no, you little bitch. No. He said he wants to play it all weekend. It'll be stuff like that though, where I go, oh no. I heard you when you said that you had to play this game, but now you're adding in new information. And then when I am reacting to the new information going, see, I told you don't listen to me. And then does this very just, yes, please. Can we get the emote? Just spam it. Just spam it. My friends do that all the time. It is one of those things where it won't even be about something serious, but it'll drive you fucking insane. You'll go, no. To the point, okay, maybe this is crazy. Maybe I've reached a point of crazed. But the next time that we're having a conversation where I know later he's gonna be like, I told you that. And I'll say, you didn't tell me that part. Is it fucked up if I record it? So then we can know once and for all. Because if I'm wrong, then I'm willing to admit that I've been wrong on other instances. But if he is, then I fully believe that in every single instance where he's like, I told you I had to do that, or you don't listen to me, that I've always listened. I have to admit I'm a man and I'm guilty of this. Thank you for admitting it. I can't wait for this to get clipped. He'll gaslight chat about how you're in the wrong. I know. He has already said on stream that I don't listen.
Are you guys
so I'm gonna prove
okay?
it. No.
We said disregard. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Sorry, I was talking about something else.
Wait.
Anyways, how are you? I got a big ol' heating pad on my shoulder and I took 2 Advil. You want to know what I learned recently?
What did you learn?
Advil and ibuprofen are the same thing.
Have you been taking them both at the same time?
No, I just thought that they were different things.
Oh. That'd be kind of funny if you thought they were different. You're like, oh, I can take them both together and you've just been taking
No,
double.
I didn't realize. I thought that ibuprofen and Advil were both different brands. Or things, one or the other.
Well, it's about having the, whatever the main shared part of it, which is acetaminophen.
Yeah, whatever.
Say that 5. Spell acetaminophen.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Sorry, I never took Latin.
I'd rather not see men, okay?
Okay, all right, here we go.
Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5. Y'all, this is the reason that I went live for a second time tonight. So if you're like, wow, Caroline seems kind of off her game tonight, it's because I'm only here to finish Resident Evil 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, were we both wrong? I don't care. I don't give a shit anymore. I'll say things that are fake and I don't care. That's the point that I've
You know what?
Point that I've
Bring back
reached.
lying for attention.
It's not even lying for attention. It's I'm not even gonna bother to sort through my brain to try and find the right answer or to be like, oh, what is that? I'm just gonna say whatever.
Between the both of us, we at least have one fully wrong answer.
I am at a place right now where I'm just gonna say it and then never retract and not be concerned.
You're brain rot today, huh?
I am, dude. That's why I'm like,
I can tell that you're thinking about the word you're about to say next while you're saying the word.
I know, and I even was like, I can't cover anything tonight. I don't want to talk about anything I can't. I've reached that point of the week. I checked I have like 150 streaming hours this month already. I've been talking about too much stuff. My brain is having one of those soup nights, and then of course I ended up talking about stuff, and then I went,
Yeah.
what the hell am I even saying?
Talk about Sydney Sweeney's new boyfriend.
Oh yeah, Scooter Braun. Scooter,
Scooter.
she's not getting invited to the wedding. Okay, I'm opening up Resident Evil 5 because this is what we're friggin' here to do.
Okay, me too.
You're like, I just want to get back to water parks.
No, I don't want to because now I have some sort of like class system where like the rich people are letting themselves into the park and they're being assholes, and then also there's smart people that are getting into the park and they're being assholes.
Sim has already turned classist.
But I am letting the rich people do whatever they want, so I'm part of the problem.
Oh my god. Okay, well, are you gonna let the poor people develop class consciousness and join in solidarity and rise up against the rich people, which is then also going to be you?
I don't know, but I'm thinking about getting a baseball bat upgrade.
Okay.
I don't really think that'll fix things, but
a baseball bat upgrade. Is it because you are anticipating there being an there being an uprising?
Maybe.
You
I did purchase a
bourgeois
bunch of fences.
bitch.
I don't know.
Yeah, are you gonna try to stop them from unionizing?
Yeah. What happens if I put fences all the way? No. Okay. Sorry. I should open one park and try to cause chaos. No, I'm not going to do that. I am going to press play on this game that we're about to play right now. Doesn't matter. Don't make me think about it. I don't want
Okay.
to think about things. My goal is to get to pink.
Well, now I'm thinking about how I can somehow get into your water park simulators so I
You
can
can.
lead
You can
so I
type exclamation point
organize
splash.
I can organize the people and help them participate in this overthrow, in this reordering of society. How do I get in?
Do you just type exclamation point splash in the chat?
Oh, that's how you wanted me to. Wait, that's how you.
Yeah,
texted
you
me that
actually, I don't know
last
if you
night.
ever got into the park. You did that, but I don't know if you did or not.
I did exclamation point splash, and you were like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool, thank you." All right,
If
send
I
me
would
an
have seen you, I would have
invite.
kicked you out. Okay, let me send you an invite to the Twitch thing. Beep beep boop. Get in the pool. Stream together. Invite guest. Caroline Kwan. Send invite.
Belk Angel, thank you for the resub. Crumpets, thank you for the gifted.
Mute. Okay, I sent you the invite.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get into the game, and then I'm gonna send you an invite for the game.
Okay.
Everybody, be nice to everybody else's chat. You're about to integrate.
You know what? Actually, tonight, everyone just be assholes. Just be dicks. It's chaos.
YouTube guy, where is he?
I don't care anymore.
I
don't. You know
I
what?
don't care.
This is no country for old men. That's me. I'm an old man.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hit
call
ready.
each other stupid. Call each other stupid.
Stupid.
Let's see who can say it harder. No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid.
Stupid.
Nuh-uh. No, you.
Okay, so I'm loading into the level, and then I have to send you the invite when I'm in the level because it's stupid.
Okay.
Stupid.
Cupid, stupid. Stop thinking on me.
Invite to game.
Okay. Let me open it.
Okay, I've sent you the game invite.
You sent me the game invite. Can I tell you that I never close my Resident Evil games, so whenever I stream and I know we're going to play again, I always am like, oops. Gotta close that.
So are you saying that you just leave it running after you end stream? The game?
I don't mean to, but I always forget.
How many hours do you have in this game?
More than you.
Yeah. Believe you.
Do you know that I had like
if you look at Steam, if you look at the game in your Steam library, up at the top next to the play button, it says playtime. What does yours say?
Okay, Resident Evil up at the top. 32 hours.
Yeah, perfect. Mine says 12.
I told you.
All right, I sent you an invite.
Well, maybe you should pick up your fucking slack.
No, you're right. My bad. Maybe I'm efficient though.
I don't know. I think maybe if you had more hours, you'd be better at looting.
Why do what one person can do in 15 minutes when another person can do in 3?
Is that what's happening though?
Oh.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm a loot master. I'm a master.
I restart.
I'm a master of looting. It says I'm awaiting reply. Hopefully,
Yeah, because I have to restart and then it should bring you in.
Like last time.
Jennifer Coolidge has joined the game. Okay,
Jennifer
perfect.
Coolidge has joined
Okay,
the
we're gonna have
game.
to run this back and do a lot all over again.
I know it's gonna be really annoying, but that's okay. Okay.
That's okay.